baby girl, what's your name?
Hi, my name is Taylor, and in American literature I have grown as a reader and a writer, improving on many different standards such as
such as the standard RI1, making a point. Before this class, I really struggled with making a point. Even in other classes, I never really seemed to be able to do it that well. Oh, that well being a 4. But I thought maybe this was because I was just making silly mistakes, but really I didn't even understand how to make a point. That was until after taking the American Lit class taught by Mrs. Raymond. After taking this class, I can truthfully state with excitement to anyone that I can make a point without going off topic and at a 4 level. Without her consistent help, practice, consideration, and knowledge, I would never be able to honestly say to anyone, including myself, that I know how to make a point, because really I wouldn't be able to. I really wouldn't. And I mean, if you don't believe me, I guess I'll just have to prove it. Yeah, that's what I thought. So to prove that I can make a 4 level point, as well as I said I can, I have before you a test which was taken on the date of December 20th, 2012. This test I got all 4s on, including RI1. I got a 4 because I gave 3 details in addition to a strong so what to back up my claim or my point. So my point is the American spirit is unique to every opinionated individual. And then I gave an example, which was a detail. My example, which is probably, I started out with one that is a quote, so it's a pretty strong example. Other ones, I believe, are just as strong because they have a lot more detail than I guess the quote does, but they're all really strong. And then my so what is, if people did not have their own opinions, whether they be alike or not alike, they would be nothing, so separating them from the wolves, meaning all we have that separates us from what we belittle is our opinions and our thoughts, and without them, there wouldn't be anything. So if you don't use them, then I guess you're just a wolf. So for my next artifact, I did indeed use the same test that I just used in RI1 for my first artifact. But the reason I am doing this is because it gives a good example of the next 2 standards that I believe I improved very much on, because I didn't know how to do these standards at all. And the reason why I'm saying standards is because, yes, there is 2 of them, and I'm doing 2 of them at the same time because they do work well together, and separating them would just be confusing to me, to everybody, and so I'm doing them together. So the standards I'm going to talk about for these artifacts are RI4 and RI5. RI4 is analyzing text structure, and RI5 is evaluating text structure. And as you can see, I got 4 on both of them, and when I did this at first, before like I really got used to it. On both of these standards, I probably got like a 2, and that's being generous. I really had no idea how to do these until this class because Mrs. Brandon just really explained them to me. So in these standards, all you do is you get a quote. This one's kind of long, but that's alright because you already should have read it in the beginning of the test. As you can see, there's a little story thing. I took some notes to get a better understanding and stuff. That's what I mean. And so yeah. So when you evaluate it, you have to figure out the structure that's used. We learned these a while back, and I'm pretty sure that there's 7 of them, and list of items. I got it right, and I got it. Well, it's not even based on getting it right. It's whether you can prove that you're right. And I put a lot of detail to make sure that there was enough proof to be right. As you can see, I filled up the space and way more. The RI5, I believe, comes in at C, which is evaluating whether this text structure was the correct one that they should have used. And then there is where you have to provide more proof. But the reason why I get a 4 is because I use quotes. I don't know if you can see the quotation marks, but that is why I got a 4, because not only did I provide detail, but I provided actual details from the thing. They aren't just like, this is what happened. It's proof that that is what happened. So it's just kind of a more clear way of giving someone detail. And yeah, I could do this to pretty much any piece of writing that you give me now, or that anyone would give me now, and that is why. And well, this is an example why.
So I just told the truth.